meeting is now in session. For the record, I'd like to recognize that all of our school board members are present. Mr. Hackney will be joining us soon as he got tied up at work, and including Tanya Baker, our school board clerk Scott Mullins, school board attorney, and Haiti Robinson, division superintendent. This time, would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence? Board members, we have an agenda for tonight's meeting. Are there any additions or revisions to the agenda?
Mr. Hicks, we have, with the board's approval, we would like to add to the agenda item P from Friday's distribution of the agenda, resolution supporting the Job Corps.
Do we have a motion to approve the agenda with the change with the resolution supporting the Job Corps?
So moved.
Is there a second? Mullins, second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That brings us to our public comment section, which Mr. Hackney usually reads that. We got a copy of our public comment. I'll read it. A period of time for public comment will be designated on the meeting agenda during which the public may comment on issues related to public education. The Dickenson County School Board believes that the citizens of the county should be heard and that this is an acceptable format for receiving public comment. After the public comment section of the meeting is closed, the public shall not be allowed to participate in general board member discussions regarding agenda items. Public participation with board members regarding agenda items can be disruptive, and the practice is prohibited by Robert's Rules of Order. It is the desire of the school board to treat each member of the public fairly and equally. Allowing one individual to participate while excluding others is unfair. The board may hold such public hearings as may be necessary to allow the public to more fully express their concerns, or the board may place the public comment section of any meeting at the end of the meeting to allow for additional public comments. While we do not wish to restrict the free expression of opinion, we feel that certain restrictions may be necessary so that order and reasonable standards of decorum may be maintained. We ask that the following standards be adhered to. The speaker will be recognized by the chair. Each speaker will be limited to 5 minutes. Speakers will refrain from the use of vulgarity or profanity and will avoid negative or embarrassing comments directed toward specific children or students. Board members should not respond to issues presented by speakers unless clarification is necessary. Matters of concern raised under public comment will be referred to the proper official for investigation and future board consideration if necessary. So, Ms. Martin, will you please be our timekeeper? For public comment, we recognize and welcome Mr. Steve Short, BPE.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Ms. Robinson, when the end of June kicks in, I was just telling Ms. Martin, 1st of July, it's kind of like, okay, it's time for school to start again, was always my thinking. Thank God I'm retired. I only have one quick thing to say, and that is I think Winston Churchill was credited with saying something similar to, if we're not moving forward, we're going backward. Well, you can see outside there's progress going on there. And throughout this year, I think you folks have been a major part of moving forward for the Dickenson County schools. So you're definitely not moving backwards, moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Short. And I don't see Ms. Mullins with BPE. We got anybody with BPE? All right. We have anyone else for public comment? All right. Our next agenda item is the consent agenda, which includes the approval of minutes, approval of monthly invoices, revenue and expenditure summary, discussion of school activity funds, approval of field trips, approval of new elementary school construction invoices, the approval of construction bank reconciliation document, and the Dickenson County Public Schools health statement account. Are there any questions or discussion on the consent agenda? Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so our next agenda item is information for the school board. Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you. Good evening, board members. Good evening, Mr. Hicks. The first item that you have there is on July the 25th, which is on Friday, will be the VSBA 2025 Conference on Education. I'm sure you still have time perhaps to participate in that conference, and if so, please contact Tanya Baker at your earliest convenience. Also, I don't see Mr. Burge. But I would like to just share with you, I think you have seen up close and firsthand the construction of the canopies outside. Thank you for entering Ridgeview through other doors. And the update on the construction of the canopies at Ridgeview, they're going well and should be ready by the end of July. And so we're just delighted to be adding that to our school and for more student safety and just more comfort when students get off the bus or enter our buildings and it's cold, raining, and so on. So again, we're very pleased with the construction of the canopies. Also, if you noticed over at the four-way, they are beginning transitioning the gas line, and so that work has begun. And so we're very glad to see that work. And that work should be done by the end of July, 1st of August, plenty in time for our children to begin school. So again, we're having a very busy summer with construction projects all around us, and want to thank the Board of Supervisors for their support in that. Thank you.
That brings us to good news from our school. Ms. Robinson.
Thank you. This evening is a very special evening, and we get to recognize our retirees and people that have worked with us. This year, we have 139 years of experience leaving our school division. Sherry Stanley, one of our fantastic special education teachers who has been with us through Hayside High School and then also at Ridgeview. Her husband, Dwayne Stanley, and Dwayne also has 35 years of service, and he and Sherry have played major roles in our school division, from being coaches to supporters of coaches, and we thank them both for their service, and we have a bell for them. Mr. Stanley could not attend this evening due to some medical issues, and so we wish him our very best, and we're sorry that he could not be here. Our next person is Keith Woods. Mr. Woods is also retiring from our custodial staff, and Mr. Woods has 30 years of experience. So that takes up, you see, 35, and 30, almost 105 years there. But we have one person who's with us here, and she's brought part of her family, and we're so thrilled that she could be here. And I'd like to ask Denisha Edwards to please come to the front with 39 years of service. Denisha? And Mr. Deal, would you check the door, please? Mr. Hackney is coming in just a few moments.
Way more heavy. Oh, that was trying though. That's all right. One look. Let's do speech.
Yes, would you like to take that?
Handshakes, hugs. I'm a Baptist.
I got 2 more quotes.
Denisha, thank you, and thank you for sharing today with your family, and thank you, all of you, for being here. I know that was a sacrifice, but thank you very much. You've made it very special for all of us, and so we thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Ms. Martin if she would come to the front, to the podium, please, and tell us about our attendance and our enrollment, and something special also that she has to share. So,
Yeah, and I'm actually going to share that first because I think my person that's here to share that has other obligations. Dr. Compton, if you and Derek will come up, and I guess you talked Ryan into it too. And I'm going to let Dr. Compton explain to you what he's doing. This was his last official project that he did as our attendance coordinator. So I wanted him to be able to share that with you.
So we got together, or I got together with the board of, with the Santa Hill, we worked with them and we designed these belts that you all that showed.
They're heavy.
We're going to pass those out each month.
Gotta have a woo.
To the school with the attendants, and then also we're going to shoot the male and female student athletes.
Those are heavy.
Yes.
We're pretty proud of them, and I thought they turned out well.
We especially want to recognize behavioral health. They're the ones that sponsored this for us, and it's just wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Deal.
That's heavy duty. That's heavy duty.
Thank you, gentlemen. My understanding when Dr. Compton took them up to the high school to show the principal and the assistant principal some Ric Flair imitations and Macho Man, Randy Savage imitations, and so, some of that came out. They didn't video that for me. I don't know that I would. Thank goodness. But I thought Chad did a fantastic job with that, and we thank Behavioral Health for all that they've done. It's sort of, if you remember, our T-shirts, we have Alpha with the wrestling belt on, you know, as an attendance champion. So those will go hand in hand with the T-shirts as well. So we still have plenty of those that we'll do as attendance incentives. So that's sort of where the concept of the I call them WWE belts. I guess I tell my age a little bit on just not a wrestling belt. It's, you know,
They're definitely styling and profiling. That's for
Hulk
sure.
Hogan era, you know. So anyway, I wanted him to be able to share that with you because that was his project. So now we'll get to the nitty-gritty of attendance, our enrollment, and chronic absenteeism. In your packet this month, you have the attendance percentages for each school. You have the comparison for the last 4 years, the entries and withdrawals, and then you also have a copy of our next billboard, which is the last of our series that we did for the schools. This last one for the high school is for all the CTE classes, and we had a student representing each CTE. These will go up the 1st of July, but I wanted you to have a sneak peek of those. And then the middle school and elementary school was about building memories. And so you should have a copy of those in your packet. Those, again, will go up the 1st of July. And then the next one will be in September, and we'll come up with our new concept for the next school year. For the month of May, and also that will also finish out our school year, we show that we had 1,697 students enrolled in K-12. We finished with 80 students in pre-K and the 3-year program and postgraduate. That's for a total of 1,777 students. For our monthly attendance percentage, in May, halfway through the month of May, our percentages were in the middle 90s. But after SOLs, that percentage dropped significantly. With the new regulations that are coming into 2026, we're hopeful that this will help and alleviate this issue. Because as you can see, there was a significant drop. We still did about 2% better than we did last year, which is, that doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is. Considered, you know, attendance is an uphill battle. It's always going to be an uphill battle. But each school finished at least 2% better for the month of May than we did last year. Overall, for the month of May, the highest was the Ridgeview Elementary School at 88.76%. But I will note that our goal for the year was that we finished as a district in the 90s, and we did so. We finished at 90.85 for the year as a district. So we did reach that goal, and then of course when the school year starts, we'll set our goal again for this year. Try to set a realistic goal, which will be higher than 90%. and we'll share that with you. As I told you last month, in 10 months, we had 6 months that we were 90%, and of course 4 months that we weren't. So we did make some gained improvements this year, which I'm very proud of, and we're going to continue to strive to make even further. Our chronic absenteeism numbers that you see there, I will make a note for you that those are extremely raw data notes, data that I'm presenting to you. None of the students that were homebound are taken out of that data, or any students that would be exempt are taken out. And then it doesn't include any student that participated in after school that could possibly have dropped below the chronic rate. That's not taken out either. This is extremely raw data. And so hopefully by next board meeting, we will have the actual figures from VDOE to share that with you. And are there any questions or comments about attendance or enrollment?
Ms. Martin, last year I think our enrollment or attendance rate was 88%.
Last year it was 89.
Okay.
The year before that it was 88. So we
almost
have
2
been
points.
making a steady improvement every year.
Just continue. Thank you. Thank you to you and your committee and to everyone that's worked so hard.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Our next agenda item is the update on proposed FY26 budget. Ms. Edwards.
Good evening, everyone. In an update on our FY26 budget, we've learned officially from the Dickenson County Board of Supervisors that they have finalized and approved their budget yesterday on June the 24th. The approved allocation for DCPS was $5,255,637. This includes the required local match that is set forth by VDOE, plus an increase of $250,000. Which will be used to support the salary increase to our staff. We intend to work to adjust our budget in the month of July to reflect this change, and also we'll be finalizing the FY25 carryover amounts and adding that to the budget for FY26. And we hope to present to you an amended budget in July or August. Is there any questions on the FY26 budget?
Appreciate all your work on it. I know you've had to go over it
Yeah.
3 times, several times now.
Yeah, thank you.
So don't go anywhere. You're next too, I believe, right? And next is the approval of the 25-26 salary scale, Ms. Edwards.
Yes. Our FY26 proposed salary scale adjustments include a 3% plus step increase for all full-time salary scales at DCPS. The steps on the salary scales for full-time employees vary by year of service, but on average, it's 0.5% increase per step, excluding the milestone years. The proposed scales include an average of a 3% increase for all of our part-time and hourly rates. And currently for FY26, we are budgeted for 308.2 full-time positions. This includes 16 teacher drivers and 73 part-time positions. One item that was changed within the scales for FY26 that differs from prior years is the addition of an education specialist and a doctorate stipend on the therapist scale. This is the scale that includes our occupational therapist, physical therapist, speech therapist, and psychologist. In prior years, this scale only included a master's degree stipend, and to make it more in line with the other scales, we have added a $3,400 education specialist stipend and a $4,530 doctorate stipend. Does anybody have any questions on the salary scales for FY26?
Do I hear a motion to approve the DCPS 25-26 salary scale as presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Rasnick. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mullins. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Next is the approval of the amended insurance premiums for employees. Ms. Edwards.
Back again. For the FY26 health insurance rates, if you remember, we approved those at last month's meeting in May, the medical, dental, and vision for our employees. Since that meeting, we discovered a small issue in the spreadsheet that we use to calculate those rates. And so we need to take the vision rates back to what they were in FY25. So that would be no increase in the vision rates for our employees for FY26. Just a small minor adjustment. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Even the state of Virginia has those spreadsheet issues.
Yeah, that's right.
You remember that, don't you?
Yep.
All right. Any questions for Ms. Edwards? Is there a motion to approve the amended insurance employee premiums as presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Vanover. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Mullins. Any further discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Our next agenda item is the approval of federal grant applications, title, all the titles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ms. Steele.
Good evening. A few days ago, I emailed all of you copies of the federal grants that you just named over for your review. I don't know if you've had time to look at them or not, but in your packets, you should have the main budget pages for each of those grants. I'm gonna just give you a brief description, give you the amounts of each grant and our intentions of spending those federal dollars. So for the Title I grant, we already have our preliminary allocation on that one. That preliminary allocation is $856,775 for a 25-26 school year. This grant will provide federal funds to operate our Title I program in our elementary school. Reading and math intervention and growth on the Virginia Standards of Learning assessments are the main goals for our Title I program. The Title I grant will provide one Title I reading specialist, one math coach, 3 reading resource teachers, 3 math resource teachers, by funding the salaries and benefits for these full-time employees. This grant will also provide materials and supplies for Title I teachers and pre-K teachers. It will also provide some student licenses for online learning platforms and student take-home learning packs and books. So 90% of this grant will cover the salary and benefits for 8 full-time employees. For our Title II Part A grant, the estimate for this grant is $110,000 for next school year. The federal funds for this grant will fund partial salary for a director who devotes half time to federal programs, a partial salary for technology assistant, partial salary for a technology director. This grant will also provide students with some learning assessment programs, and 90% of this grant goes towards salaries for 3 full-time employees. The Title III grant is our statewide consortium grant. The estimate for this grant is $1,500 for the 25-26 school year. The grant funds, these assist our division's English learner students. And we use this to purchase materials and supplies, as well as student learning and assessment programs to assist with language development. Our Title IV.A, or Title IV Part A grant, we estimate this to be $62,000 for next school year. This grant will provide partial benefits expense for a director who devotes half the time to federal programs, partial benefits for a technology assistant, partial benefits for a technology director. This grant will also provide students access to student learning and assessment programs, and about 70% of this grant goes towards the benefits for 3 full-time employees. Title V Part B, our rural schools grant. The estimate for this grant is $68,000 for next year. This grant works in conjunction with Title I to pay for partial salaries for 2 technology assistants, and a portion of this grant will help purchase student licenses for online learning platforms, and about 82% of this grant goes towards the salary and benefits for 2 full-time employees. All 5 of these federal grants are projected to total approximately $1,098,275. Salaries and benefits are covered for 8 full-time employees. A partial salary and benefits are covered for 4 full-time employees and 1 part-time employee. Any questions or clarifications that need to be made on any of that? Okay. We request these grants to be approved by the board as presented and to be submitted to the VDOE.
Is there a motion to approve the federal grant application, Title I, II, III, IV, and V, as presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Hackney. We're here second.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. So our next agenda item is the discussion of proposed student school board member, Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you. As you know, we passed this policy approximately 2 months ago, and our school board attorney has been in discussions with other school divisions that have adopted this policy. This is a new concept, and so the legal ramifications of having a student representative participate with school boards have yet to develop. As you look at the A, B, and C under this board packet item, you'll notice that one of the items is that to direct the division superintendent to prepare written procedures for our consideration during the appointment of student representatives in this board. All the indication from board members is that we move forward with adopting and implementing this policy. And so if we are still in that discussion, then, Mr. Chair, I will just need a motion to direct me to begin writing the procedures, and we will have those to you in July or August to implement this for the 25-26 school year.
I know we've been talking about this for a couple of months now. And so if that's the direction we still want to go, have any questions for Ms. Robinson? Or I know we're still working out details,
Yes, sir, we are.
or any comments in general on student school board members? Hearing none, do I have a motion to direct our division superintendent to prepare the written procedures for the board's consideration regarding the appointment of student representatives to this board?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Mullins. Is there here a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Vanover. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Our next agenda item is the revision of policy GCCB, employment of family members. Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you, Mr. Hicks. As you may recall, it's prohibited by our policy to hire certain close family members, father, mother, brother, sister, spouse, son, daughter, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, and so on, if they are in direct supervisory capacity of another family member. Unfortunately, because of the limited applicant pool, having family members coach on the same sports team has become inevitable, and we have several that are very successful. What we'd like to do with this policy at this time is to align the policy with the practical needs and realities of our school systems in extracurricular activities and coaching. The common approach is to avoid these concerns is to designate an individual other than the family member to supervise the individuals. And that person would either be the principal or his or her designee. In this case, because we are not talking about a continuing contract status or a full-time employment. It has already been established that the principal has a duty to supervise. And so, board members, if you'll look at the red line copy, you'll see the statement there. The employment of family members associated with extracurricular activities that involve contracts issued on an annual basis, such as similar to coaching contracts, is discouraged but allowed with the understanding that all such employment arrangements shall be subject to the direct supervision by the school principal or his or designee. As Mr. Mullins, our school board attorney, has shared with you, this is a common practice, and it is within the legal aspect of the law. Questions or comments? And Mr. Mullins, would you like to add anything to that, sir?
No, I think the board understands it, and I think it's welcome because we really do need to have our policy reflect what's happening in our schools. And also, this is limited to those extracurricular activities. We would not want family members supervising each other for things that involve the bread and butter of job and actual continuing contract or employment. So.
Any questions or comments about the proposed policy? Do I have a motion to adopt the proposed changes to policy CB in the form presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Mullins, any further discussion? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Next is the approval of the 25-26 Parent and Student Handbook and the DCBS Handbook for Students. Mrs. Martin.
Good afternoon again, board members. Earlier we emailed you the two handbooks, the Consequence and Expectations Handbook. There wasn't a whole lot that was changed on that handbook, so I'll briefly go over what was changed. We didn't print you copies of it just because of the sheer number of pages, since we had emailed those to you. For the Consequence and Expectations Handbook, the cover, of course, I updated the cover. The year was changed, updated clip art and added some new clip art just for a change. On page 5, the level of consequences, we took out some of the consequences that are on that page that the schools don't utilize, just for clarity. All the discipline codes remain the same through VDOE. Some of the wording as far as the descriptions did change, and those were highlighted in red for you. Those were on page 8, 9, 10, 12, 16, and 17, and then I updated the school calendar. So that was just a few updates on that book. As far as the parent-student handbook, I did update. There were a few things updated, nothing major. Any policies that we updated throughout the school year, although I couldn't reprint the book because of the cost, we did update the policy book, the policy or the handbook that we have online. We updated it throughout the year so that if anyone accessed the handbook online, it was current throughout the year. So those I did not highlight for you this time because those had already been updated. Of course, we changed the cover and the index page. The FERPA pages were updated. On page 6 and 8, added unexcused to tardies just for clarity. Updated Dr. Jesse Neese as the Director of Special Education on those pages. The early release, early graduates policy that we passed 3 or 4 months ago, I did add that policy to the handbook. That was not in the handbook previously, so I added that policy to the handbook. And then the policy that we just recently passed with the JODR, the form that the agencies have to sign in order to request a student's records, such as CPMT or social services. I did add a statement about that in there. As far as on the student conduct, the list of items that is prohibited, I bolded that for emphasis, just to bring that up. We passed the change in the language in the drug policy last month, so I updated that. Again, we changed the Dr. Neese again on the non-discrimination. We added the health wagon parental permission form, and I think that's the next on the agenda that Ms. Robinson is going to talk about, that we have coming up, our back to school bash, and the fact that the health wagon will be on campus this school year 3 days a week. So we just went ahead and put the release form in the handbook so that parents have that available and they can go ahead and get that signed for us. And then the very last page is the page that the parents sign, and I just had to do some updates on that. So hopefully you've had a chance to look at the handbooks, because I do need an approval so that I can get those to the printer to have them ready before school starts, so that when the students come back on the first week, they're given their handbooks.
Good. Any questions for comments from Ms. Martin? Do I have a motion to approve the 25-26 parent-student handbook and the DCPS handbook for students? So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Ms. Martin.
Thank you.
All right. Next is the discussion of the beginning of school blasts and health clinic services for the 25-26 school year. Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you. Ms. Martin mentioned that, and I just wanted to update the board. We now have approximately 20 local and regional agencies that will be with us on the Ridgeview campus that day from 3 to 7. This started out as a way to give back to our community, pay forward to our children, to our parents, and to our community. And this is growing every week. Every time that we meet, there are more people that want to be a part of this, that want to sponsor it, and it's just been a great thing to be able to be there. This started out as a clinic, health clinic, introduction to our parents, and now it's grown to all of this. So I hope that all of you can come that day and be with us. There will be a lot of activities for children, for our families, for our parents, and we're just thrilled. This is our first beginning of school bash ever, and we hope it will become something that we do each year. So we're very excited to begin that school year with that emphasis on service and serving our students and our community. Any questions on the beginning of school bash?
We're also,
Please.
also going to include Meet the Wolfpack, the football team and cheerleaders, and Alpha will be joining us that day and be introduced to the community and meet the new coach. Although everybody knows Coach Grant, it's an opportunity for him as the new head coach to introduce his players to the community.
Quite a lot of activities planned that day, so there may be more. There will be more in July, so, but I'll be glad to update the board at any time. Thank you.
Yeah, sounds like it'll be a great event. All right, our last agenda item is the support resolution for the Job Corps. And just to share with you guys, I'd sent had a request from the Job Corps. They sent me asking for a support resolution for them because they are facing maybe a loss in funding. I know that they've done a lot of good and developed a lot of skills for students throughout our local. I know kids, as soon as they've graduated, they went to the Job Corps and learned to lay block and lots of different things and been employed from there. And so I sent you all a copy of that. You all got any questions or comments on this support resolution for the Job Corps?
Mr. Hicks, they also have a copy in their packet of the resolution.
Yeah, if you want to take a look at it once again in your packet. Give you a moment to look it over. So, pretty no questions or comments. Do I have a motion to approve the support resolution for the job course?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Hackney. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Mullins. All in favor? Please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. All right. At this time, we will have board comments. Mr. Vanover, you want to go first?
Well, sure. It's nice that we can recognize our retirees, and like Ms. Robinson said, we had quite a bit of experience recognized here tonight. Mr. Woods and Dwayne and Sherry, I wish they could have made it, but I understand with the health issues. But that's some pretty important people that we're losing, and especially losing Denisha. Denisha's one of the reasons I got into teaching. I think she got moved up, and I got a job over at Hayside for a year and a half because she got moved up. So I go back a few years with her, and she helped me greatly when I first got started. She's always there if I had questions or comments, and it's really sad to see her go, but she's earned it, and it's well deserved for all of those retirees that they can enjoy the fruits of their labor and enjoy them grandkids. One smiled at me as they went by, and one cried. So that's about my average. So, but I'll just say one other thing. At the beginning of the school year, you hear parents and grandparents and churches asking you to pray for a good, safe school year and pray for our children and the bus drivers. And I'm a firm believer in that. I pray every year for a good, safe year. But on the same token, I also worry about them when they go home for the summer. And I think we need to pray for them as much when they go home in the summer to have a good, safe summer, that the good Lord watches over and blesses them and keeps them safe from harm, and that every kid we sent home back last month, that we get back in the fall. And we got some great kids in this county, and I just hope they have a blessed summer and enjoy themselves while they're off, and they come back refreshed in the fall. So to get back at it, we got a lot of good things going on at this school, and I think the fact that we've improved our attendance slightly over the last 2 years is a great thing. I know I briefly worked with attendance for a short period. It's not an easy thing. It's an everyday thing. It's a every hour thing. It's every time you turn around, it's a telephone call or a letter home, and it takes a lot of hard work. And I thank Miss Martin and Mr. Compton and all the assistant principals and all those that put hard work in to make sure our attendance is steadily improving. I think that's kudos to those people. Mr. Mullins?
Well, I agree with Mr. Vanover. I think it was really good with retiree recognition. And, with like Denisha, there's just some people that you truly can't replace. And somebody's going to have some big shoes to fill there with Denisha. And the Stanleys have done a wonderful job and been so dedicated to our school system. It's been a blessing to have all those, and our kids have been touched from that. It was good to see the work on the canopies started. It's good to see the 3% raises on the step raises on the salaries. And, I was thinking here just a minute ago about the federal grants. That's 8 full-time jobs. And what would we do without those federal grants? That's a real blessing also. And I was sitting here thinking also about the health clinic that's coming up in the upcoming year. Does anybody know if there's another school in the Commonwealth that has a health care clinic? Does anybody know that?
Washington County does.
Washington County does. Yeah, so that's a great thing. Maybe we could get WCYB over here. Yeah, but the things are really good. We have been blessed, and I'm just thankful to be a part of this board our staff. We just have a wonderful staff. So I think that's pretty well all I have, Mr. Hicks.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Mr. Atkins?
Sure, thank you. I'll just follow what Mr. Mullins and Mr. Vano were saying as far as the appreciation of our retirees. Apologize, I almost missed that segment of the meeting, but I was glad that I got here just in time. I'm adjusting to a different commute than I used to have, so sometimes things don't work out. But as far as Mr. Woods and Miss Denisha Edwards and Dwayne and Sherry Stanley, especially with Denisha and Dwayne and Sherry, known all three of them so long, it's I can't even remember. You know, it goes back so far. I don't remember how long I've known them. It's been that long, but they've all done so much for not only the students but just our community. They've been great representatives for our community and public servants, and just appreciate all that they've done, and wish them well in their retirement. I follow what David has said also about hopefully everyone's having a good summer. I know it's got a little bit hotter than we've had in a while, so everybody staying safe out there, and definitely thoughts overseas for our troops and some of the things that's going on, and prayers going out to them as well.
I would certainly echo what
Mr. Rasnick,
others
Mr.
said.
Rasnick, will you speak into the microphone there so that
I think I'll
we
make
can hear
something
you,
say
sir?
it as I didn't do a thing to it.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. I could add to the list of things that these folks have said, and all the good things. You know, I'm happy to see the budget turn out the way that it did. Sadly, as some people in here know better than I, that in some neighboring counties, the situation's not, they're not in the same good spot that we're in at this time. And I don't know, I hope the future holds bright for Dickenson County, and I've been told that in Buchanan County, the coal is, miners been laid off here in Dickenson County, people taking $2 an hour cut, I guess, and things like that. It's up and down in the situation that our country is in right now, and it just, it's tough. And it's going to be tough on buying school clothes and buying, the good thing is, going back to a fellow named Rufus McCoy back in, I think, the 1960s. He was in the House of Delegates, and he was, I'll say it this way, he was a different kind of fella. I liked him a lot. He was a school teacher, and he taught one-room schools, but he got elected to the House of Delegates, and he fought for free textbooks, and eventually that came. He fought for, free lunch. And for a lot of people, they brown, in those days, the one-room schools didn't have any place to eat except out of a brown bag, I guess. And to see Scott County and Lee County facing the difficulty, the people that work there, I feel sorry for them. And the kind of cuts that take place there is going to affect the children. And therefore, I certainly have empathy for those people that are going to suffer there. I just wish it were just better, and not Dickenson County. I hope, I know we're blessed. Sometimes we take it for granted, but our people and our students, no matter what the situation is, we have to help. We have to do the best we can to see that they go forward in this world. And I know that all 5 of these people I'm with here, and the superintendent and everybody in the office, it's hard to believe I've been gone 17 years, and I brought Denisha up. I'll remind her of that. I brought her up here to work in central office as Mr. Setzer and as Mr. Mark Mullins. I couldn't have picked three better people. All of them, I had a house full of people there that were good folks, and we were blessed. And as I said before, every school division is not blessed that way. And all children out there are not blessed that way. I think our children here are treated very well. And I think Dickenson County and everybody that's employed here and the parents, I think, need to understand that we've got a unique situation here. There's a lot of good things in a unique way. And I know that Ms. Robinson said she's going to put together a packet, I believe, on all the good news. And so many good things did happen for our teachers and employees and parents and everybody. I think, all in all, it's been a very good year, and I certainly am very proud to be a part of it.
Thank you, sir. Well, just reflecting back and going back to Ms. Short's comment from the beginning, you know, if we're not moving forward, you're falling behind. And, you know, I think we've had an excellent school year this year. All the accomplishments of our teachers and our students and all the things they did, and it'd be hard to top it. But, you know, looking forward to folks being renewed and coming back and trying to achieve those new attendance goals and all the goals that our students have. But just thinking, hey, with going through this packet tonight, you just realize what a community effort it is. And, you know, very, very thankful for the Board of Supervisors and their support with the salaries part, the canopies that are going out there. They had a hand in that. Thankful for our partnership with behavioral health with the belts. Those belts are pretty cool, I thought, and so I think the kids will get a big kick out of those. And you know, you look at that list of folks who signed on for our bash. We've got all kinds of partners there, and so you know, it's just one big partnership that does best for our kids. And so thankful for everybody that has a hand in that. All right, so at this time, we will go into closed session. Closed session pursuant to Section 2.2-3711, Paragraph A of the Code of Virginia, there will be a closed session for the purpose of, 1, employment issues relating to discussion or consideration of specific individuals for employment as a pre-K 6 teacher, assistant principal, attendance coordinator, and resignations pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-37118. And 2, to consult with legal counsel regarding the investment of public funds associated with school construction and consultation regarding actual or probable litigation, along with consultation regarding specific matters requiring legal advice pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-71A, 6, 7, and 8 of the Code of Virginia. Do I hear a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Second. Thank you. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Is there a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are now out of closed session. Mr. Robinson, will you please read the certification?
Yes, sir. Whereas the Dickenson County School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas 2.2-3712D of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dickenson County School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, 1, only the public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed, and 2, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered. Would you please certify?
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
I certify.
Are there any motions coming from closed session?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board approve employment recommendations as presented in closed session.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Hackney. Second. Mr. Resnick?
Second.
Gotcha. All right. Any discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there any other business to discuss? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Motion and second.
Second.
Second, thank you. All right. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.